Also found themselves in a little bit of a weird place, I suppose, right? Bottom right side, the blue Zerg player fighting for the Kaisi Gamers Solar. I don't get to say this enough, but fighting for the Afrika Freaks, it's the red Terran player. He is TY. TY. It's been a while since I've got to cast him. He's a bit of a hit and miss with the online cups though, right? He's like the opposite of Cure. Cure does incredible at the online events. And then, you know what, still performs pretty darn good at the offline events, but not really up to the same standard as you come to expect from him at the from the offline events, alright? Or the online events that you see from him. Then, TY, complete rule reversal. Just a man that is as brainy as they come. But sometimes you can't put the brains to work as heavily if you're not allowed to prepare for your opponents, right? You're not going to be able to prepare for them, and then you're not going to be able to put your brains to work as much in order to ensure a nice, solid strategy against your specific opponents. And that is where TY starts to struggle sometimes. Is he going to struggle here as well because of this? I'm not entirely certain. Already has that Reaper on the, well, the Zerg creep, making life difficult for them. Trying to get that drone right there. Not going to be able to do so. Oh, actually, hold up. That is a dead drone. Thought that was going to transform into a spore crawler, but didn't do it in time. So well done there. TY gets the first blood. First blood. Getting himself a quick third CC. Alright, lovely stuff. Lovely stuff here. Mules being thrown down as well. As they do, those cheeky Terrans. See what we got on that barracks right here. We'd assume it's going to be a reactor, right? Tech Lab would be good as well. Maybe he's going to go for Banshees. Banshees would be a good call against something like this. Yeah, there is that Tech Lab actually. Alright, so most likely it's going to be Banshees. Could be a Raven play as well, but not that much gas available. Actually, only on 2 gas. So I'm going to assume Banshee play. Perhaps without the cloak as well. Most likely without the cloak, actually. And voila, Benji. Oh, this could be... Oh, alright. Nope, doesn't get it. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. Coulda, shoulda, woulda. I think the Pokemon Pseudo-Wudo got its name from Shoulda, Coulda, Woulda. Shoulda, Woulda. They were like, oh, Shoulda, Woulda. Shoulda, Woulda. Oh, it's, yes. New Pokemon. I think that's what happens. Fairly certain that's what happens, actually. Alright, that's quite a couple of Hellions here. So far not being utilized just quite yet. Oh my god, it's Bibs. How you doing, Bibs? Always get excited when you join the channel. Out of nowhere, out of the blue. How you doing, Bibs? Happy 2020. Happy end of the 2020 era, I suppose. It's another decade. We've survived another decade, haven't we? A decade is 10 years, right? Or is that 100? Decennia? Wait a moment. You know what I mean. From the gameplay. I mean, it's close. It's close, Bibs. Oh, look at that. Bibs actually surrounding the queens with those Hellions, forcing them to take this fight here. Now bringing in the queens as well. Century is 100. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Decennia, what is it? Decennia was... What's the 10-year mark? Again. Hellbet's coming in now. Man, Bib's really doing a number on Solar here. You would have had Blue Flame. You would have also won already at this point, I think. Alright, well, only getting 2 workers so far. Let's take a look at how many Zerglings TY has gotten. 35, so overall it's an okay trade, but he did lose quite a bit of his own stuff as well here. Not that much remaining back at home. Solo usually just dodges you, yeah. So do I, Bibs, so do I. That's why we haven't played that much recently. Didn't you just cast like 12 hours ago? No, that was 24 hours ago. 24 hours ago, right? Yeah, I'm fairly certain it was. 12 hours ago, I was arriving at work. No, wait, I was going to work. Yeah, I was going to work 12 hours ago. End of the year is rough for me at work. Ah, really? Is it because of the entire, you know, people kind of turning around with the governments? Just an entire switch up of the governments right here, right now. D-Face joining us. Well, jeez Louise. Guys, you want to do a trio cast here? You guys want to have Bibs, D-Face, and me all casting at the same time? To be fair, if we all three of us get in a voice chat, probably we won't be talking about anything about the game, but we will have a good time. No, we managed. It's all at the end of the year, and everyone likes to wait until last minute. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. A lot of people do with a lot of things, actually. Also at our work, right? What, is it just because you're at work right now, Bibs? Or is it because you don't want to? Because if you don't want to, I will force you to do so. If you're in a potential Bibs casting is a bad idea. I think it would be a good idea, dude. I think it would be a great idea. It just adds a bit of flair, right? A bit of extra fun to the entire thing. It's the end of 2020, man. We're celebrating here anyway, so doesn't matter. Get you on the couch. What are we doing here? Quite a couple of Widow Mines into the medevac. Alright. Alright, another time, Bibs. You've dodged it for now. This could be a good Widow Mine hit. It's reasonable. Definitely reasonable. But still needs a bit more stuff here, of course. Can't just rely on a single Widow Mine to take care of, how many Mutalisk was that? 13 Mutalisk. Doesn't work out that way. Oh, 9 workers do get killed off by the Widow Mine drop here. Ooh, almost getting another drop. Could have been a good amount of Zerglings going down, but didn't quite manage. That's unfortunate. Medevac. Medevac having a rough time as well. Anyway, yeah. A lot of people do the last minutes at my work as well. It's because of the, you know, the insurance companies. They always reset everything at the end of the year, so people are like, all right, well, if I want to have the utmost value out of my insurance company, I'll have to make sure that I spend as much insurance money as possible at the end of the year. Because I've already used up my own credits. And now I'm going to have to use up all of theirs. And, yeah. It becomes a mess. It becomes quite the mess. Oh, that's a lot of banelings right there. A lot of angry people. I don't get what they want. The mines need to get themselves burrowed onto the floor, and well, it's looking okay actually for Mr. TY. Just needs to ensure that he does put his baneling or the Widow Mines into the ground, of course, and losing somewhat of his army. Has more stuff overall, but really not putting everything together here. I'm a bit surprised he wasn't putting everything together. Still kind of going with the multi-pronged aggression. I don't think that's the strong suit of TY, to be fair, but it is kind of the way you need to play this as a Terran player anyway. Right? Going for the bio, you have to start spreading out Trying to get value at one side, putting it on the other side, and using that mobility to really make life as difficult as can be for the Zerg player. Nice stim forward. There we go. Another scan, getting rid of a bit more creep. Man, Solar's been doing a really good job, by the way, with just getting all this creep everywhere. It is ludicrous the amount of creep tombs that are just continuously expanding absolutely everywhere, and still doing so as well, by the way. A lot of Zergs will get lazy at this point in time and just be like, ah, it's far enough. I'll be able to get my defense going if I need to. Not Solar, no sir. Solar just gonna continue onwards continuously. And that's all TY's been able to do so far as well. Just gonna destroy creep tumors, right? I mean, it's important to do, but if that's all you're getting to do, it's quite something odd. When is it preferred to go Widowmine instead of tanks versus Zerg? It is when the Zerg is playing Zergling and Baneling in particular. Usually go tank, Marine, Marauder. I mean, it's easier to control overall, I suppose. Widowmines, sometimes you want to unburrow them, sometimes you want to retarget. I suppose with the siege tanks you also want to retarget, actually. So maybe Widowmines a bit easier to control, perhaps. But then again, the Widowmine's a lot easier to do friendly fire with as well. So yeah, I'd say you want to go siege tanks when the Zerg is going for roaches. Roach lurker kind of composition, right? Roaches into the Hydras, into the lurkers. So yeah, if your Zerg opponent is going for the Hydralisk, you should consider starting the transition into the siege tank. Otherwise, sticking to the Widowmines here is the best deal, because the Widowmines also do splash damage against the Mutalisk, not just the Banelings and the Zerglings. Well, Solar's getting a lot of bases, but he's not really denying any bases from TY either. This is a weird battle. I mean, at any point, if TY keeps throwing away units like this, you would assume that Solar's going to be comfortable with just kind of moving across the map and then just slapping out bases left, right, and center. And I think we may be starting to see that momentarily here. Upgrades. I suppose the upgrades are quite heavily in favor now for TY. That's going to change soon as well. Yeah, right. There we go. Now starting up that aggression here. Maybe make all of this Banelings. There we go. I hope that answered your question, by the way, Bibs. I think you want to get a couple of siege tanks in the early game. That's okay, because then you're safe against Ravager kind of roach attacks. But then afterwards, if you notice that your opponent is going for Ling, Bane, Mutalisk, definitely want those Widowmines. Alright, so again, trying to clear the creep here. Neither of these players really ever been in a situation where they are capable of dishing out actual economic damage. But we are seeing Solar starting to take more bases than he should be prescribed by the initial start of the map here. Right, this base on the bottom left side actually should be in TY's hands, but if we have Solar mining quite a bit of minerals from that location, should put him in a really good spot here. Solar's starting to take out more and more rocks. Also a good idea. Would like to see him take out more of these rocks, as his main, well, the majority of his force is consisting out of melee units. TY trying to keep his Marauders alive against those Ultralisks. It's a rough thing to do, especially considering he's also having to deal with all those, all of the Mutalisk flying around. And yeah, that's quite a bit of micro here being necessary for the Terran. Trying to get rid of whatever he can. The Planetary Fortress should do a good job, but this is one of the first times actually in this match that we see one of the players getting on top of the opponent's bases. And with Solar actually getting some of the SCVs killed off, being able to do some damage against TY's economy here. I think he should be in a really good spot overall, as Looking at the supply, it's also quite more capable of just maxing out again. Remaxing. A lot easier for a Zerg to do than a Terran player. Unfortunately for TY. More and more units just kind of spilling on through, and wow, already just tapping on out of there. Still having 91 army supply. Suppose a lot of that is in the production tab, but still a bit surprising. But Solar takes game number 1. With a bit surprising, I do mean that ending right there. That was a bit of a weird ending overall. I was not anticipating. But oh well, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? Game number 2 will be played on Romanticide. We're gonna start loading that up momentarily. Look at that fireworks, by the way. Beautiful display of just absolute ginormous proportions right there. Sure that is in some sort of a Chinese city happening right now. Live footage above TY's house at this moment, as they are celebrating TY's playing StarCraft 2. Alright, 1 point on the board for this blue Zerg here in the bottom right side. He is Solar from Kaiser Gaming. There you go. Bottom, the top left side, red Terran player fighting for the Africa Freaks. He is TY. Man, I love saying the Africa Freaks. That's just such a good team name, right? The Africa Freaks. I'm not sure why they call themselves Afrika. It may be another entire meaning in Korea, right? Or they didn't quite think about the term Africa as well at the same time. I don't know exactly where it came from. But the Afrika Freaks, that's just a lovely, lovely team name. Right? It's a lot better than all these other team names being like Kaiser Gaming. Something gaming. Gamers. Yes. Yes, we are gamers. Right? I don't know. It seems a bit too much for me overall. Bit too on the nose in a sense. What other ones do we have? You love that CEO Kevin guy who buys everyone pizza at the GSL events. Man, that is lovely, isn't it? Oh, that's so cool. Just that on its own makes you want to go over to Korea to get this Kevin to buy you pizza, right? At the GSL studio. That is just... That's a dream for me right there. I would love that to happen. Dude, if that ever would happen, I would eat so much pizza. Oh. I would tear up as I look into his eyes and say, "Thank you, Kevin. Thank you." I would say, wait. Gamsahamnida. Gamsahamnida. Kevin. I don't think his actual name is Kevin, though, is it? It's probably just the English name. A lot of Asian people, they have like an English name as well, because they know English people will not be able to pronounce their Asian name. So then they have like an English name as well, which is quite interesting. It's like having an online name, but then just for another foreign language. Imagine that, getting yourself an Asian name. Just being like, yep, well, my name is Simon, but also my Asian name is Hapnida. There you go. Hapnida. Just make something up. Alex. Kevin. You know, whatever you want. Alright, interesting. Going for the overlords here in the middle of the map. Not sure if that's worth it. The second name for the English language. It's a lot better than the birth name. I don't know. I don't know. Is it? Probably. Parents probably more preoccupied with trying to make cute names and such, right? Rather than just cool names. Ooh, it's quite a big hellbed attack right there. Also, utilizing... Oh my god, that's a big hit right there. How in the world did that manage to get so much damage? Oh, wow. 13 workers killed. Alright, that's a good start. That's a beautiful start. 14 workers killed, actually. And he's got another Widow Mine. Oh, 5 more. Just like that. Wow, still does... Okay, does have vision of it right now. Oh, that's ridiculous. 19 workers. This build from TY, that was absolutely brutal. That was a beautiful build. That was very well executed. Just had the Hellbats on the left side, then the Widow Mines taking priority of the armory as well. It all came together so beautifully. Solo now going to try to retaliate, I suppose, with a Roach Warren. Don't think he's going to be sitting here for all too much longer. I mean, taking that much damage as a Zerg, you're kind of scratching your head and being like, alright, well, do I try a macro game here? Or do I just kind of try to minimize the effectiveness of losing all those workers here by just sending out a ton of units as quickly as possible and minimize the time where I'm behind on workers overall throughout this game as much as possible? Alright, there we go. That's the Hellions again, doing more damage. Are you kidding me? Liberator that will not be able to do anything. But those Hellions, they are going absolutely ham. Just had another Hellion right there in reserves. Doesn't even care about it. Just chilling. Having a good time. He's like, yeah, that's right. I'm not doing anything until the New Year's here. I made a commitment to be lazy. And I made a commitment to stop being lazy in the next year. So... no, I still got a little bit of time. That's his New Year resolution right there. Okay, so in comes the attack right now. Already being able to shave off a lot of those Zergling numbers here. Which is a very nice thing to have, you know. And yeah, that is just not going to work, is it? Sort of realizing, tapping on out of there. GG is called. TY takes game number 2. Ties it up as well. Deja vu. I have been in this place before. So yeah, Zest did the same thing here. Didn't quite work out for him in the end, but maybe it will here for TY. After tying up the series, will he be able to take control of the entire series here? Or is Solar still going to be able to wrestle away with another lead in the point board? The point board. That is how they say it, right? Yes, it is. The point board. Regardless of the point board, you can do anything you put your mind toward. Alright. Top right side, Red Terran player fighting for the Freak of Freaks. He is TY. Bottom left side, we got ourselves a blue Zerg player fighting for the KZ Gamers. He is Solar. Alright, lovely stuff, lovely stuff. TY and Solar still doing their thing, doing what they can. Going at it. Going for a spawning pool first. Wait, hold the phone. When did this happen? Alright, spawning pool first. What does that mean? What does that mean? We still have a Reaper over here. He's also SCV scouting. The SCV scout should be able to indicate that this hatchery is late. And that should put the Reaper on the back foot, right? The Reaper should stay back home. Should be able to kind of keep himself safe against those Zerglings that are marching across right now. Actually only standing a single Zergling there, but that's already enough to tell for TY here that he needs to keep that Reaper back at home. Look at how quickly he realizes. Such a brainy player. He's going to send it across the map regardless, is he? Isn't he? No. He's just checking. He's just checking, trying to find those Zerglings, trying to meet them out in the fields. He's going to get himself a bit of an advantage here because that is going to allow him more time to micro around, try to get rid of them before they get on top of any type of SCV here. Alright, doing a good job so far. Okay, there's the Marine as well. Good bit of micro. Let's get one of the SCVs. But that's all he's going to get. And a Marine, I suppose. But that is all he's going to get. No SUV there on that command center, TY. That is... TY? 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 Oh, there we go. Guess that was intentional. Guess that was intentional? I don't know. I don't know. There was quite a bit of a delay there. Solo gonna grab himself a third base here. As TY is gonna get himself a tech lab on that factory. I'm assuming we're gonna get another bit of the Benji play, but less orientated towards the Hellions this time around. The Hellions did do quite well for him the previous games, I would say, but maybe this mix-up here will be throwing Solo for a bit of a loop. It's gonna switch this, right? Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be a cool day in hell when you don't switch around those buildings that are that close together. It's just not what Terrans do. It's not what they do. Can make a reactor on this now as well. Switch him back later at some other point in time if he wants to. Depending on if he wants to. Or he can put a barracks down here as well. Would probably be the better idea. Get himself that stim pack at some point. It's not a bad upgrade, is it? So, may as well. Alright, the lair attack coming up. Solo, how many Zerglings does he have? 9 of them. Really? That's just 9 Zerglings. Oh. Alright. Oh, catching a Hellion off guard. Getting inside of the natural base here. Getting a bit of a scout. Let's see what he saw. Seen quite a bit here. I guess he didn't quite see what's happening with the starport. It's a bit of a shame, right? Not being able to see the tech lab that is on top of it. But it is something he has to take into account, though. He knows there's a starport. So he has to start making some spore crawlers, I suppose. Already has one in the main base. Stunning up the lair with the Baneling nest. I wonder if he's just going to try to get the Baneling speed here. If he's planning to go for a Spire more quickly. Not that many. Okay, he's starting to take more gases. So this is making me think he's going to try to get himself that quick Mutalisk. Especially because we don't have any Evo chambers either. Unless if I missed them. No, we do not have any Evo chambers here. So yeah, most likely will be the Spire. There it is. Spire coming down. Little tip there for all you wannabe casters that by some magic way have not found the same amount of knowledge that I have just quite yet. It's not a lot, you see. It's just tiny little things. Tiny little things coming all together. Oh! 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 Whoa! Come to Papa. That's already quite a couple of drone kills here. 8 of them, to be exact. It's okay. It's okay, actually. I mean, looking at the worker count, I mean, 8 worker kills there. It's not that great, is it? It's nice that he kept one of the... Wait, he did keep one of the... He did not keep one of them alive. Alright, that's a shame. Thought that he did, but apparently he did not. Was that worth it? I don't know. I don't know. What's a lot of gas there being invested. There's the Marine Stim Pack. It's about to finish up here. Baneling speed also on the way, so not skimping out on that upgrade here. No Banelings yet available though. But with the Queens and the Zerglings, looks like that it will be enough to push those Marines backwards. Important thing to note here as well, that they missed those active creep tumors, right? Being able to take out those active creep tumors does help a lot with the next upcoming attack here with a couple of siege tanks. I think he's going to go up to 3 siege tanks, probably then switch it up right into the Widow Mines here. As he did realize there's mostly Ling Bane Mutalisk in play. Right, double medevac drop starting to clear up some of that creep. Again, right, a lot of this could have already been dealt with. Oh, the siege tank's not quite yet available. That is quite the nasty surround, and immediately being punished there for his slowness and not targeting down the Baneling side at TY. Absolutely falling apart there as quickly as you can say any type of word really in the English vocabulary. That one's insanely quick. My dear lord. TY, what was he thinking? What was he doing there? What happened? This guy being like, alright, well, wait a moment. I need to stim. Oh, wait a moment. My siege tanks needs to siege up, but also the Marines are in trouble. Let's pick those up. The other ones, who cares? Let them just die to banelings. Very awkward. A very awkward fight there. Not quite what I was expecting. Oh well. Oh well. We're going into game number 4. Let me get that scoreboard. There we go. So, regaining the lead here, 1 point away from victory. It's the blue Zerg player fighting for the Kaisi Gamers. He is Solar. Bottom right side, the red Terran player fighting for the Afrika Freaks. TY. Alright, second base for Solar there. Nice and early. Not going to go for that spawning pool first shenanigans this time around. To be fair, TY held that very well, didn't he? Like, he didn't take any damage, honestly. Well, 1 SCV and a Marine. But that's it. That's all he really lost there. And I suppose he did delay his own command center, but that wasn't really because of the spawning pool first. Well, maybe by proxy, but not really directly, right? Indirectly, it delayed the command center just because TY was a bit flabbergasted. Didn't realize that the SCV building the command center there actually got killed, I believe. So probably that more so the reason why that happens. Anyway, a bit of a shame. A bit of a shame. TY gonna go for a command center here on the low ground. Did not get bullied into submission just quite yet with that previous game with the spawning pool first. Still gonna try and take the chances that he wants to. Living on the edge. Living on the low ground, I suppose, in this case. Alright. Single gas mining still going on here. Always interesting, actually. Without even getting himself the metabolic boost upgrade at this moment in time. Really delaying that. I guess you don't really need it all that quickly, right? So it allows him to get that quick third base. Pretty cool. Reaper kind of gets to see the drone count, sees the third base, so he doesn't see a Ro4, which is also a nice thing, of course. We'll be able to kind of get the indication that he is clear to do a third base himself as well. Gonna start ramping up that greed. Start investing in himself, really, right? That's what you need to do as a Terran player. You have to invest in yourself because nobody else will. Not a single Zerg or a Protoss will. And again, I guess the same goes for all the other races as well. It's a cold, heartless world out there in the StarCraft 2 universe. Alright, bit of a rescout there. Trying to figure out the unit composition of Solar here. Not finding anything too peculiar or too out of the ordinary. Another command center coming up as well. I think I've already mentioned that though. Oh, Liberators. That is something we don't see every day. Okay, third base did get scouted as well by that Overlord, so this is great for Solar. He knows now that he's quite in the clear to make a ton of drones, which should make up for the fact that TY is also getting a third base quite quickly. It's just easier for the Zerg to, at this point in time, really steamroll ahead, economically speaking, right? Because, well, just off the way that production works, if they know they're clear to drone, they're going to be able to make a whole lot more drones than you're going to be able to produce SCVs. So, yeah. Solar's still playing it semi-safe, though. Still making Zerglings continuously as well. He's getting himself the Roach Warren. I think he may even get himself a couple of Roaches here. Yeah, you still have to be a bit on your toes, of course, because, well, Hellions and such are still a thing. We're going to see a battlecruiser transition here from TY. This is a very weird build. Going for Hellions into Liberator into a battlecruiser? Alright. You know what? Sign me up. That is interesting. Maybe this is TY kind of experimenting with something here, whether or not a mind game like this works. And it definitely is a mind game. I mean, you don't really expect a battlecruiser after the Liberator. Battlecruiser is usually no longer a thing after you make something else out of that starport. Sometimes a Viking is made, though, to be fair. Like, sometimes we do still see those Vikings being made. And then the Viking... Oh, that's Overlord Speed, though. Overlord Speed, that is gonna... Wait a moment. It already saw the fusion core a long time ago. So I'm surprised that TY is still going for it. Maybe he also missed the fact that it did get scouted earlier on. I would be surprised, though, if he did miss it. And, well, there's the roaches now. Alright, well, TY fans, you may want to close your eyes just for a short period of time. I will make sure to notify you as soon as things are in the clear again. But right now, they are disturbing. They are looking like a lot of dead Terran babies that are just being mutilated by corrosive green goo bombs being shot out of the guts of these roaches. These disgusting, spiky animals. Alright, we're good again, guys. We're good. Don't look at this, though. That's... Yeah. 12 works. That's a lot of workers for this stage of the game. Look at that. 70 versus 43 right now. Kept that battlecruiser at home all this time also. So, overall, just more time for Mr. Solar to get himself a defense prepped against the battlecruiser. Look at that. Already has 5 queens available. 6th and 7th queen just being produced. Has spore crawlers everywhere. Still 12 workers go down, though, thanks to the help of those Hellions as well in the 3rd base. So, eye for an eye, definitely going to be a thing here. 2nd battlecruiser comes in as well. We'll try to continue onwards the slaughtering of the Zerg babies. And the little Zerg worker drones. Alright, 20 of them so far. It's not bad. 3 more workers go down for SCV as well, SCV kinds as well. With a couple of these Zerglings mucking about. Roaches here, trying to ensure that the Zerglings will have a good time. Some good micro there, though, from TY. Gotta be careful. And we'll be able to deal with this relatively well, but again, losing a lot of workers. An eye for an eye for an eye. And, well, who knows? Maybe in a little bit, both these players will be just completely blind. But so far, it seems like they still have eye for an eye to trade. So, I guess TY losing one more eye overall. So maybe he is blind right now. Maybe he is blind right now. We'll have to wait and see. So a lot of corruptors here, actually. 67 workers versus 48. Looking okay for the Zerg player. Also has that 4th base already available as well. Forcing out the blink from the battlecruisers backwards here. TY is just trying to set up a defensive front with mech units while also continuing onwards with this Hellion aggression. There we go. Trading another eye there. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. How many eyeballs do these boys have? Alright, we'll get 12 workers in total. Pretty good, pretty good. Apparently there's still one Overlord in the main base of TY that he has not spotted just quite yet. Alright, does not even care about... Okay, there we go. Gets rid of it. That's what we need. Ooh, I like this. Solar identifying that it is going to be a mech play, and he's going to go for the Swarm Host here. Now, the Swarm Host, very strong against mech, especially if mech, the meching player is more so being focused on the production of siege tanks, which, you know what, hasn't been, has been a little bit of the case here with TY. He's got 4 siege tanks. Also has those 3 battlecruisers, though. The battlecruiser is definitely a problematic kind of units for those Swarmos there. Good shot down that Nidus Worm retreat rather quickly for the Swarmos. There we go. Another Nidus immediately comes down as well. The battlecruiser is trying to fight against the roaches and the Ravagers, but still struggling quite a bit. There we go, right on top of those siege tanks, already taking out 2 of them. And taking out a couple of the other stuffs as well that is underneath. It's hard to say, really. More Ravages. Okay, no Swarmos right now available, of course. Another bit of damage being done there. Nidus Network does not stay up for very much longer. Not too many of these Yamato cannons to really take care of the numbers of Corruptors that are out here. Okay, he's just spreading creep everywhere right now. More of these Locusts coming in. A good amount of Hellbats, though. Should be able to help out, but apparently it's not enough, as the Locust still able to trade quite efficiently. That command center here as well needs to be repaired, but under heavy pressure by the Corruptors, by the Roaches and the Ravagers, all together right now, working in perfect harmony. Oh, good biles there, landing on top of the battlecruiser and the command center. A lot of SCVs dying. I think we may be reaching the point of no return here, so we will have those Swarmos quickly having another volley as well. It's hard to see. TY starting to trade more efficiently here, with everything going absolutely sideways on his side of the field for the time being. Corruptors also making it impossible for the battlecruisers really to take a fight at this moment in time with those Swarm Hosts. Guess this Locust Wave doing the least amount of what we've seen so far. Still getting 2 Cyclones though, and a couple more SCVs. It's hard to complain about that. And there it is. GG is called. Solar takes game number 4. We'll be able to move on